First, I want to say how honored I am to be speaking at the same time as Jackie, whose words always are inspiring and uplifting, and this was no exception, as well as appearing here with Janae, whose work I've admired for so long, and so delighted to see her ascending to the head of another organization that Dennis and I know a lot about, because we work together there, the NCLEJ Legal Defense Fund. But I want to say a few things about the center. That's where my history is. The center is kind of my home. Very special place in my heart. I started my legal career at, and forgive me for calling it the center, I know it's gone through several name changes, including the time when I was on the board, but I started there as a summer intern after my first year of law school. The 1L summer, Henry Friedman picked my resume out of a pack. I needed to have a paid job, and I wanted to do public interest work, and Henry thankfully picked me. And that was my start in the legal profession. And then I became a legal aid attorney in Harlem and a public benefit specialist. And I returned to the center many, many times to ask folks there, Henry and Gina Mannix and others, to help me with casework and use the tremendous resources and support of the center in that work. And then, upon becoming a law professor, Henry invited me back to be on the board, which was a wonderful experience. Joined with another one of my mentors, Mary Zulak, who's here. We joined the board at the same time. We left the board at the same time. She was my supervisor at Harlem Legal Aid, and she's here too, and was on the board with me. And just to sort of square the circle or end the circle, I'm happy to say that Dennis asked me, when are you going to send me some students here? You've been a professor for so long. And I said, Dennis, you have, I think, a senior attorney on your staff who was a student of mine, Katie Diebler, who's doing public benefits work here. She took my Law of the Welfare State seminar, which I teach at NYU in addition to teaching at Rutgers. So many, many connections to the center, which is and will always be my home. And it's also my home because it has my homie, Dennis Parker here, who is truly my brother from another mother, in the sense that we have followed each other through our careers. We worked at least 4 of the same nonprofits in the poverty and race area, 2 of them at the same time, one of them the organization that Janae now heads. We overlap there. And I really know firsthand how spectacular a leader and thinker and lawyer he is, how dedicated and committed and insightful and interpersonally agile, which not all directors have, trust me. I have 12 clinic directors who work with me as clinic dean at Rutgers. Not everyone does people well. Dennis does people well. And he also brings sheer brilliance to that endeavor, which is fabulous. So, yes, give him a hand. Someone who really noticed. And I've been very lucky to work with him and to learn from him and to work alongside him. So I've been a director of clinical programs at law schools for a quarter century now. I just announced that I'm stepping down at the end of this month. It's been quite a ride. But one of the good things about this is I'm going to step out of a lot of the administrative work I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be the director of a new clinic in economic justice. How about that?
Wow.
And one of the things I'm really excited to do in my new economic justice clinic is to sort of figure out, working with Dennis, maybe forging connections with folks on staff, terrific Anji Malhotra, who I see, said, ask about racial justice. I'm going to ask her about that and the intersection in economic and racial justice and the work that the center is doing in that space. And I should say, although I've been mostly an administrator for the last 20 years, I have also worked on public benefit matters, a lot of SSI. You'll get that from the book that's in your gift basket today and see what I've been working on myself. And also on the intersection of poverty and race in the housing and land use area, including the continuation of a 20-year class action lawsuit that I started in the late 80s when Dennis and I were both there, challenging the demolition of all of Newark's high-rise public housing projects without adequate replacement, the loss of affordable housing in Black and brown community in Newark, New Jersey.